Diving deeper into the demon realm. Episode 5 is here and it has reinforced the show's nostalgic, adventure-focused vibe. It's the end of Daima's introduction phase, setting up Goku and his new team for bigger challenges ahead. Now, we've seen Daima pay homage to Dragon Ball's roots, with Goku miniaturized and venturing into unknown worlds, echoing elements of Dragon Ball or even GT. But the episode Panzy builds on this nostalgia with fresh dynamics, bringing characters, tensions, classic adventure beats, and deeper Demon Realm lore into the mix. So, let's jump into it. The episode picks up as Goku, Supreme Kai and Glorio encounter Panzy, a strong-willed, curious addition who immediately shifts the group's dynamic. Her energy and curiosity brings tension, especially with Glorio, whose coldness towards her raises questions about his motives. Could he see her as a distraction, or is something else at play? Panzy, baffled by Goku's strength, pushes him to explain his magic, highlighting the contrast between her world's mystical focus and Goku's physical prowess. This brief exchange shows the clash between their perspectives on power, with Goku's innocent response being his magic is touching his tongue to his nose, again adding that Dragon Ball humour and sincerity. When the group finally reaches King Kadon's castle though, it's revealed that Panzy is actually the princess of this realm, her royal background adding more mystery to her motives, leaving us to wonder if her eagerness to join Goku's team is purely selfless, or in fact has deeper ties to her role in the demon realm. After getting here, the episode's climax is Goku's brief Super Saiyan transformation as he easily overpowers the King's warriors. By using this power sparingly, Daima emphasizes its weight, contrasting the frequent transformations in the likes of Dragon Ball Super. It is a reminder that Goku's strength, even restrained, is really very formidable. With Glorio's motives still unclear, Panzy's hidden agenda, and Goku's restrained display of power, Episode 5 sets up character intrigue and hints at the larger battles to come. And that's where this week's episode ends. So, Episode 5 brings in two fascinating characters who have added richness to Daima's story. Panzy as the energetic newcomer, the one who seems to be a mixture of perhaps Bulma and Pan, obviously named Panzy and Pan, very much the GT references, and this introduces a lively and curious spirit that feels fresh and yet grounded in Dragon Ball. She is pretty unique, after all, she is 82 years old with magical abilities who still presents as a kid. It really reminds us that, this is anime, there is a whimsical side of the demon realm, and it's all in a bit of good fun. Her intellect and resourcefulness though bring to mind elements of, again, both Pan and Bulma, blended with GT's adventure-centric vibe. Unlike Goku's headstrong approach, her strengths lie in her ingenuity and willingness to learn, giving her an edge that balances the team dynamic. This mix of traits places her as a crucial addition to Goku's group, an asset beyond just combat abilities, adding depth through her royal connections and technological skill set. But Panzy's entrance also casts a shadow of tension, particularly with Glorio. He remains one of Daima's most enigmatic characters, and this episode only deepens that mystery. His seemingly rigid loyalty to a mission, his irritation with Panzy's probing questions, and even Supreme Kai's wariness about his intentions all point to something hidden beneath his composed exterior. Could Glorio in fact be working with Goma, or is he perhaps even an agent of another unknown entity? His coldness towards the team hints that his motives may run counter to their quest, and these hints of potential betrayal add a sense of unpredictability that keeps us guessing. Glorio's character, alongside Panzy's inquisitive nature, really adds to that group dynamic that recalls the early team conflicts in Dragon Ball GT, while adding a sense of maturity and caution. In the broader scope of storytelling, Daima's interweaving these characters and their backstories with nostalgic elements that really resonate with longtime fans. Goku's brief Super Saiyan transformation is more than just a demonstration of power. It is, of course, a callback to some classic Dragon Ball fights, where transformations held symbolic weight. The setting of Kadon's castle, with its imposing ruler, is very reminiscent of Ox King and the adventure-orientated, fantasy-inspired design, again mirroring early Dragon Ball and GT's world building. It feels like Daima is attempting to capture both the spirit of the franchise's beginnings and a sense of renewal, integrating these nods to the past in a way that feels very intentional and immersive. After all, the Super Saiyan transformation appeared first in GT in Episode 5, and again now in Episode 5 of Daima. Some of these things may just be a coincidence, but a lot of it does feel very intentional. Now, let's quickly talk about the pacing. While it may feel slower than Dragon Ball Super's rapid transformations and high stakes battles, the steadier progression allows us to explore these new relationships and the Demon Realm's cultural landscape in detail. It's as if we're watching an RPG journey unfold, where each character's background, abilities and secrets really add to the story. This style is again very reminiscent of the classic Dragon Ball adventures that prioritized exploration and character development over constant power-ups. I mean, that's one of the things that I loved so much about original Dragon Ball. This more measured, grounded approach is a refreshing shift that gives Daima room to breathe, letting each story beat land and allowing us to savor the development of this adventure squad. If it all happened too fast, we would never feel any kind of connection within this group, where taking this moment to breathe helps us feel that build. Ultimately, Daima feels like a perfect mix of the old and the new, honouring the spirit of the original Dragon Ball while setting the stage for deeper story arcs and character development. With each episode, we're giving more clues, more mysteries, and a slower, more deliberate journey through the Dragon Realm that sets this series apart from the previous installments. And it must also be said, and is something I've seen elsewhere, that Daima is very much given a lot of nods to Star Wars. If you look at our group, you've got the Han Solo like Glorio, the new Princess Leia type Panzy, along with the Luke like Goku. It very much feels like there's a lot of nods to that world in this one as well. And finally, as we look ahead, there's even more excitement building with the potential arrival of Vegeta, Piccolo, and maybe other familiar faces next time too. Their entry into the Dragon Realm could bring a whole new dynamic, especially with characters like Vegeta, who might clash with the likes of Glorio's secretive approach, or even challenge Panzy's curiosity. Plus, seeing how each of them adapts to the Dragon Realm's focus on magic over raw power could create some unique battles and unexpected alliances or just moments. If these characters join Goku's team and don't just split up, it's likely we'll see both old rivalries reignited and new bonds formed, adding potentially more depth to this already complex journey. And so, where does this leave us? In episode 5, Daima solidifies its blend of nostalgia and new mysteries. We're seeing meaningful moments between characters, a slower build-up of team dynamics, and a steadily unfolding plot that hints at greater battles ahead. While the pacing might seem slow, it's clear that these foundations are setting the stage for something bigger. With Panzy, Glorio and Shin rounding out this new adventure squad, and Goku facing fresh challenges, it's exciting to imagine what the next chapters will bring. They said there's going to be 20 episodes of Daima, so we're 1/4 of the way through now. This is almost Act 1 of the series, everything has been built up, and we're ready now to go ahead with full force. So, now is the time I want to hear from all of you. Let me know your thoughts on this week's episode and the show so far in the comment section down below. And with that, thank you for spending just some of your time with me today, and I will see you next time on History of Dragon Ball.